Alright, hey guys, we're doing our first box of pennies for this weekend. We've already done one of the rolls and it's been pretty good so far, got a few copper pennies. And our cousin ended up joining us this weekend and he got 2 boxes of pennies as well. In one of the boxes he got these kind of interesting blue paper wrapped rolls. Now these usually yield pretty good results. He's done one of them so far, he has 2 more, but in the first one he ended up getting 2 wheat pennies. I believe both from the 1940s. But I'll just do a sort of a live unrolling here. Just grab one of these rolls. We'll just see what we can get. I'll pass the camera off to him. Now what I usually like to do to start is just open up the roll and just sort of lay the whole thing out in a straight line like this. Grab about half of it. And then from there, just go right down the line. I'll just kind of, there's a 43, sorry, a 93, 82, 82, 89, 86, 94, 94. Now these rolls seem like they're pretty typical of the ones that we usually get. A lot of 1982s to 1996. Getting a few American pennies there. There's a 72 American copper penny. Alright, and then just finishing off the last bit of this roll. There's a 1982, so I'll just leave that off to the side. Now a lot of these you just kind of over time can just tell just by looking at it. So you don't, once you get to do a lot, you don't have to look at every single penny. You can just kind of tell right as you look at it whether it's copper or not. So we did pretty good there. Again, here's all the steel and zinc pennies left over. 182 American. Got 1 copper American penny. 2 from 1953 to 1979. And then a whole bunch of 1982s to 1996. Alright, so that's just 2 rolls done so far. I'll do the rest of these and then I'll show you the results after. Alright, see you soon guys. Alright, we just finished up the first box of pennies. We did pretty good on our copper percentage. Again, we're going to move on to the second box of the week. Again, it's just a lot of these paper wrapped rolls, nothing too interesting. But I'll finish this box, I'll put them in with these pails here and then weigh them and see how much copper that we get, and then I'll show you the copper results on the spreadsheet as well. And if you're wondering at all, my cousin's almost gotten through his 2 boxes as well. He's found quite a bit of wheats and King George VI pennies, a lot more than I have so far. But that's how it goes sometimes. So I'll get working on these and I'll show you how we do. Alright, so that's what remains of the second box. Before we get into the copper results, I'll just show you how we did on the King George VI and wheat pennies that we found. Let's start up here with the King George VI. First we have a 1939. Try to get a good, there we go, 1939, 1940, 1945, a 47, and a 1950. So 5 King George VI pennies, and these results are for both boxes, so that was 5 and 2 boxes of pennies. We've been kind of not getting too many wheat pennies recently, but we did really good this time. In the 2 boxes we found 12, including some really nice early ones on the left here. That's a 1920 and then a 1924. But there was also this 1944, 1946. This one's kind of tough to see, but it's a 1947, a 1949D, a 1951, and that's an S mint mark, we don't get too many mint marks from San Diego there. That's always great to find. Here we have a 1953, a 1956D. This is a 1957D, 1958, and then another 1958. So 12 in total on the 2 boxes there. And then of course, the long line that you see on the bottom, those are all 1982 American pennies. I always say keep those ones. Of course, we don't know which ones are copper yet, but up here in Canada, we do get quite a bit of the 1982, so I would imagine that in the States you get a lot of 1982s. Just keep them off to the side. No reason to just put those back in with your zinc pennies. Then up here, a really dirty dime. It's kind of hard to see, but that's a 2004. Then we have a really nice 2009D American penny. And then lastly, we have a 2-cent euro. Alright, so here's the copper results for this week's 2 boxes. We were pretty much exactly right at our usual averages. On the first box we had 1,007 copper pennies, which was 40.28% of the box. And then a little less for the second box. We had 958 copper pennies, which was 38.32%. So not bad. Just thought I'd weigh these again this time, starting with the pre-1982 American pennies. Again, these are 95% copper. We have 1 pound and 4.4 ounces of the American pennies. And next we have these Canadian pennies. We pretty much, every time we look, we hope we find as many of these. These weigh the most. I believe they're 3.24 grams of 98% copper. So we'll weigh those. We have 3 pounds and 7.5 ounces, so really good for those. And again, these are the results for both boxes. Next we have the 80 and 81 Canadian pennies. Alright, we have 1 pound and 1.7 ounces of the 1980 and 81 Canadian pennies. We'll get that back to 0. And then lastly, we always find a lot of these. These are the 1982 and 1996 Canadian pennies. So quite a bit of these ones here. Wow, okay, we have 5 pounds, and then I believe that's 15.6 ounces. So yeah, we usually get a lot for those years, 1982 to 1996. No exception this week. I'll just quickly add up the total here, and I'll get back to you guys in a bit. Alright, so the total weight was 11 pounds and 8.3 ounces. Again, all we have to do is roll up all these zinc and steel pennies here to help fund next week's boxes. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. We would appreciate it if you could like, comment, and subscribe. We always enjoy answering comments down below. And that's it for this week. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you later.